Ukraine's forces have continued to make small advances along two sectors of the front amid its counteroffensive, which is in its fourth month. Ukrainian military officials said on Monday that over the previous week, their forces had liberated 0.8 square miles of territory in the Donetsk oblast in the direction of Bakhmut and made gains near the towns of Klishchiivka and Andriivka, which lie a few miles southwest of Bakhmut. Ukrainian Deputy Defense Minister Hanna Maliar wrote in a Telegram post on Monday, Ukrainian soldiers fire grenades towards Russian forces from a trench on the front line near Donetsk on September 12, 2023 in Donetsk, Ukraine. Kyiv has said it has made some progress along two of the sectors of the front line. She added that Ukrainian forces have gained 1.8 square miles in the Tavriisk, Zaporizhzhia, operational direction in the southern Zaporizhzhia oblast over the past week, and noted gains south of Robotyne. Maliar said that Russian forces were on the defensive in the Zaporizhzhia and Kherson directions and were continuing to shell Ukrainian positions and civilian targets using Lancet barrage munitions. Newsweek has contacted the Russian Defense Ministry for comment. Kyiv's counteroffensive to recapture Russian-occupied territory, which started around June 4, has coincided with a spike in drone attacks on targets within Russia, including in Moscow, which are believed to have been carried out by Ukraine. Horrific drone video appears to capture the moment a Ukrainian drone strike killed Russian soldiers in a massive courtyard explosion. In the disturbing video, a group of Russian soldiers can be seen standing around outside a house oblivious to the fact that a Ukrainian drone has them in its sights. Russian border guards are complaining about a lack of equipment amid the ongoing war in Ukraine, in line with grievances heard on the battlefield, a think tank has said. The Institute for the Study of War, ISDO, a US-based think tank, noted in its latest analysis of the conflict in Ukraine on Monday that these complaints about a shortage of equipment have been amplified by Russian war correspondent Alexander Katz, who serves on the Kremlin's Human Rights Council. Publicly available figures indicate that Russia has lost a huge amount of equipment since Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine more than 18 months ago. CNN reported on Monday that Ukraine is replacing its military equipment on the battlefield with dummies so that the Russian army wastes shells destroying decoy weapons. On 12 September, it was confirmed that Ukrainians had secured one of the most important supply roads in the bridgehead and initiated reinforcement of the region to escalate their offensive operation. The road leading to Robotyne closely approaches the contact line, with the northern section relatively secured by Ukrainians who have established a buffer zone consisting of fields and tree lines. Multiple Russian sources report that Ukrainians have been flying at least 2 transport helicopters at very low altitudes to deliver ammunition supplies to Robotyne. Recently released footage shows Russian shelling of the trenches and fortifications near the road, confirming that Ukrainians have managed to push Russians out of their positions west of Robotyne. However, the southern section runs right in front of Russian trenches and fortifications, giving the Russians complete fire control. There is currently no evidence that the other 2 nearby trench networks are under Ukrainian control, although most sources suggest that the entire field is at least within the gray zone. The loss of critical fortifications around Robotyne has led to Russian retreat in various directions, reducing pressure on Ukrainian logistics and enabling them to intensify their attacks on Verbove, breaching one more defense line. Ukrainians concentrated their artillery and drone fire on this section of the defense line and employed cluster munitions to undermine Russian defense within the tree lines. The 82nd Brigade's drone operators played a crucial role in preparing for ground operations by targeting Russian forces effectively. After a series of powerful ground operations following the artillery and drone strikes, the Russian defense south of Verbove was breached, with Ukrainian fighters taking control of new trenches and preparing to storm the tree lines ahead. In response to Ukrainian advancement, Russians resorted to using aviation, dropping massive bombs on the fields to deter further penetration. Faced with staunch resistance, Ukrainians shifted their focus toward expanding control over the second line of defense. The clashes subsequently moved south of Verbove, as indicated by geolocated footage of Russian artillery strikes. However, Russians recognized the critical situation around Verbove and initiated the construction of new defenses east of Verbove. Ukraine also reportedly advanced near Donetsk city on Monday and are in control of the village of Opid, although Deputy Ministry of Ukrainian Defense Hanna Maliar said that fighting in the region remains fluid. ISU noted, however, that several Russian sources claimed that Moscow successfully pushed back against Ukraine's attacks in the Opid region and remains in control of the village. Russia also did not make any confirmed gains in the outskirts of Avdiivka in recent days despite several reported attacks, said ISW.